Is he his descendant? Is he his descendant? Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to My Hero Academia season. I keep doing this. My Hero Academia final season, episode 4. Quirk explosion. Last episode, Bakugo finally became the hero that we know him to be. And it was awesome. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comments in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review. Whose voice is that? Twins? Is that all for one? Because of the hole in the hand. Oh, now you finally gets to be part of the intro. Because they hid him from us. As we were watching the intro, there was no Bakugo at all to be seen. Silent voice has come. The day has come. Should I go look into the lyrics of this intro? I mean, the day has come. It's like, you know. Dolphins are carriers. Oh, is that baby the first? You know who won what? I was speaking and then I missed that. Was that Yoichi right next to him? Oh, Yoichi. Oh, so that's why he was so tiny. Somehow I don't think so. Probably because he wanted to take more from him. Isn't that glowing version of him one we saw in the previous episode? And Oma was like, he's glowing? Oh, the glowing baby!
ワン・フォー・オール、オール・フォー・ワン。いい言葉だよな。悪の魔王はみんなが恐怖して全てを差し出すんだ。みんなが僕のためだけに存在する世界。僕にも夢ができた。
なぜ抗うんだ。僕と行こう。愚かで可愛い弟よ。
あんたは自分を満たすことしか考えてない。
はあ、かわいそうに。夢は現実になった。それが僕に屈しない現実をこれから僕が塗り替える。汗細ったお前にも使いやすい異能を見つけたんだ。名前も決めたよ。ヨイチだ。僕に一番最初に与えられたものだからそう名付けた。
やめろ、やめろ。
Oh, he looks so much like Bakugo. He can be for Bakugo, whatever. Y'all look alike.
ってなぜ言ってしまうんだ。力を与えてやったじゃないか。のものにならないならも
う。弟を奪った青年と目が合うも青年が映り込むことはなかった。
So you killed your brother? Okay, because he refused to be yours.
僕が与えたはずの異能が消えていた。こんなことは今までなかった。僕の異能がそれを因子だと認識できぬほどに小さく機能しないゴミが検査で見つかった。まさか動いたのか。
あの日以降全身に違和感。よく気づいたよ。体の中に因子が2つある。なんとなくそうじゃないかと思ってた。
与えた異能が消えたのは足りない部分を補うために取り込み奪った。
少しでも人を思いやれていたら与えるも奪うも世界一優しい力になったかもしれないのに。
That is so true.
涙を出せば狼狽させられるから出した。なのにお前は僕の思い通りにならない。
Aww.
追っても
Going down the line of all the successors.
お前のせいだ。工藤、奴の血縁は絶やした。もし奴の血ならばあの時何か感じるものがあったはずだ。
Is he his descendant?
空にだ。だが今確かにあの男に似た意志
Is he his descendant?
超えて僕を阻んでいるのだ。
Aww. Are you his descendant?
これ以上構成し体を小さくするわけにはいかない。トムラの元にたどり着いても彼はすでに僕を
Mm-hmm.
おい、お前を殺すのもゴールもジョートも
全員解放。
Omni factor?
すべては一つの目的のために。押し通る。
What is happening?
漢方にまで戻るぞ。賭けに出たか。
My boy?
てめえ、なも勝てるわけねえ。俺の爆破はやりてえと思ったこと何でもできる。気づけ。
Quirk explosion! He's not going to judge. I know that boy. He's not going to judge. Dodger. Wait, inside of him? What did he do?
爆発する汗粒、普通の汗粒でな。誘爆せず飛ばせて、時間差で混ざって、僕の口の中に、あの土壇場で、センスだけは褒められて。
Yes, you have! Always!
奴はダメージを負うと若返っていく。わかるな。
もう一度放出を。
Who told you to shut off?
の物語だ。
No, he's not.
ジョケ、オメガ。
He's not a background character, okay? Careful. Shut the hell up.
こんな爆破ごときのありえんの感情に振り回されて支配権が弱まってんすよ。だから俺のファンミ解除にされちゃうわけですわ。死柄木に飲まれたな。
You got consumed by Shigaraki?
僕の物語だ。そうじゃねえ。一人じゃなかった。この体も繋いでもらった命も。俺は俺たちの物語だ。
Yes. It feels so good, man.
ついにオール・フォー・ワン、今度こそ
Yes. Yes.
俺一人で勝てるわけねえんだよ。
See, that's an amazing development that he recognizes that, you know?
裏を支配できればワン・フォー・オールを奪える。ヨイチ、お前がいなきゃダメなんだよ。ヨイチ、僕はみんなにずっと見ていてほしいんだ。まだ
You're not going anywhere.
消えねえのかよ。
Careful.
力が入んねえ。
You're not dying. You're not dying again. Okay.
生まれたてた。大丈夫
Who's not?
倒れねえってのはクソ強えだろ。完全に勝たねえと。
Mm-hmm. Good. Whew.
時間だ。オール・フォー・ワン、こんなの僕じゃない。
Bye. Bye-bye.
奪われた因子が持ち主の元へ戻るなんてサービスあるわけないか。
Yay, he's gone. Aww.
くそ、オールマイトのスタンディング。
Yay.
イズク、頑張れよ。
Ah, it's over. You know, when they started this episode with the, well, I heard the voice first, but I didn't quite realize whose voice it was. And then they showed the woman pregnant, right? And then they went inside of her belly and they showed two fetuses, and I'm like, oh, twins? And then the twins were born, right? And then they showed the one of the hands, and it had a hole in it, and I'm like, wait, is this All For One? And it turns out that yeah, it's All For One. So they basically sort of like showed us his backstory, I guess, him and Yoichi's backstory. I don't want to say Yoichi because he's the one that named him that. And I'm like, ah. Either way, it's his backstory, and usually, well, not usually, but yeah, usually, the maximum of whenever they showed the backstory of a character in an anime, it usually makes you feel for that character, in one way, shape, or form. And I'm glad that this one did not do that. It just, his backstory just shows you how selfish he's been his whole life. He has no amount of love for anybody, even his brother. It's not like brotherly love, it's a possession kind of love. You're mine, so you don't get to live. Okay. So when Kudo came and took him away, and he's like, if you're not gonna be mine, then you're not gonna be anybody else's. And then he killed his brother. Okay. You're the one that killed your brother. So, like, I don't feel any kind of warm feeling toward him at all. He's been a villain this whole entire series until his death. And I'm glad that this backstory kept him the villain that he is, you know? And when they showed them as a baby, and you see the little bitty Yoichi there, and I'm like, oh, he's so small. And then they said this episode that he basically, All For One, basically siphoned all the nutrition out of the mother's body, and then even the mother's quirk and all of that. So it's like there was barely any nutrition for Yoichi. That's why he was so frail when he was born, you know? And he didn't know that Yoichi had a quirk. And that quirk didn't manifest itself until they said it usually manifests either at birth, like whatever is the beginning, or in your puberty or something or other like that. It manifests at that time. And his was the latter kind. And I think what actually forced his to activate was when All For One forced that quirk onto his brother. It sort of like helped him activate his own quirk, you know? And then when after Yoichi died, then the Kudo realized, okay, something's like, I've been feeling weird, something is wrong with me, there's something happening with me. And then you have the third there that was on his computer. It's like, oh, you have another factor inside of you. And then they show the factor being passed down throughout all the um holders of One For All and all of that until All Might. And then they go back to All For One, him deciding, okay, I can either go to All Might or I can either go to Shigaraki and, pass down my quirks or whatever. I can't be wasting my time on Bakugo. And then he's like, you know what? F it. I'm gonna go for all of y'all. And then he activated Omni something or other and just became this giant ugly thing that was gonna be flying and just like destroy everybody else along the way, I'm guessing. And then you have Bakugo just standing in his way, right? And then you have All Might there talking to him saying, get out of the way. I'm like, he's not getting out of the way. Okay. I know my boy. He's not getting out of the way. And this boy has planted his sweat inside of all for one's mouth. And I love that after he exploded him and he All For One turned into a baby, And well, before they showed us that he was a baby. After he exploded him, that Bakugo said that he did not do this alone, that it was everyone that went against All for One, that chipped a little bit away at him, like all along the way. There's been someone that did something to All for One that has been chipping away little by little at him until it was Bakugo that was the final boss. And that actually defeated him. And I love the fact that Bakugo acknowledged that, because the old Bakugo would be like, "Hey, I did it. I killed All for One, and that's it." He would have taken the credit for it, but he has grown so much. He has accepted. The last episode, I didn't even mention it, but he accepted his name Kachan that Deku has been calling him since like the very beginning. That he's been hated. That he has hated. He's accepted that. He's accepted like everything basically. So for him to acknowledge this episode that, what, it's not just me, it's everyone that has defeated All for One. I love that. And then when All Might turned into a baby, not All Might, All for One, when he turned into a baby and he was going, I can still get to, she gonna kill, whatever. And then you have Bakugo in front of him, and he was about to fall. And he's like, All for One is just a baby, right? He's just gonna disappear, right? I'm like, no, he's not gonna disappear. And you know what? I was thinking, as I was watching that scene play out, that old question that always come up: would you kill baby Hitler? You know? And I'm looking at All for One. No, All for One. Oh, yeah, All for One. All for One as a baby. And I'm like, yeah, kill him. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, kill him. Don't, no. Because if you give this guy a chance, if you don't finish him off, he's gonna find a way to come back and do damage. And I'm like, kill him. That might be cold on my part, but I'm like, no, kill him. And Bakugo was about to fall, and then he remembered himself saying, if you follow on, you're not strong or something like that. I forgot what he said, but it was basically his own words that kept him on his feet, and then he finished All for One. Yay. Yay. All for One is finally gone, man. He finished him, and then he was gonna try to do the All Might pose at the end there, but he was too weak, and then he fell. But he still put out his hand. Seeing Bakugo's journey throughout this whole series, it's been amazing. He's been my favorite character. In the beginning, of course, you're not gonna like him because he was a bully, and I don't stand for bullies. But the show has redeemed him in an amazing way, and he's become my favorite character in this whole show. And to see him, this character now, having grown so much, it brings joy to my heart. And to see that he's the one that finished All for One, when I saw Hawks inside All for One's mind or whatever, I'm like, why is he there? And I'm like, why is he there? I was thinking that to myself, but I didn't say anything. And it wasn't until after All for One was defeated, and then he said that all the factors were being, I don't know what they were being, oh, since I don't know, let me see if I can go back to that scene. That basically they were being released, right? That I'm like, oh, he took his quirk. Probably, even though I don't remember. The stolen factors are going back to their owners. Okay, so they're going back to their owners. So that means, I guess, the ones that are, if any factor that has been stolen, if their original body or whoever used to have the quirk, if they're still alive, I'm guessing it's going back to them. Or not. Oh, he said or not. But that would have been nice. So I guess it's not going back to their original owners. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it won't. But the fact that he's saying or not, that means it's not happening since he is still alive. Right? He is still alive. He's not dead yet. People, it's been so long. It's been like so many episodes. I feel like he's still alive. So if his quirk inside of All for One is saying that or not, that means it's not going back to him over there outside in the real world. So that means they're being gone. Oh well. I was hoping that at least those that are still alive can take the quirk back. But if it's like or not, then that means it's not going back to them. So I guess they lost their quirk forever. Oh, that's sad. But All for One is gone. Yay! And Bakugo was the one that finished them. And I am so happy. So I'm guessing now we're gonna be focused on the battle between Shigaraki and Deku. So, looking forward to that. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up to subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, the link is gonna be in the pinned comment, so you can just click on it and you can watch it right now. And you can also catch up with all my previous My Hero Academia reactions. There's a playlist in the comment as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. 이별은 이미 fall. I bought shadow you can